It was the year 1945, Japan. As the war neared its end, atomic bombs unleashed devastation never seen before in human history. On August 9th, just 3 days after Hiroshima, Nagasaki became the second city to suffer this terrible fate. Over 70,000 lives were lost in a single day, and the city was left in ashes. But the devastation did not end there. It would haunt Japan for generations. When the bomb dropped, the city was consumed by an explosion so powerful it melted everything in its path. Streets, homes, schools, nothing survived. Those who were close to the epicenter perished instantly. Thousands of others were left injured, burned, or sick from radiation exposure. The blast left behind only silence, smoke, and the shadowy outlines of those who were incinerated where they stood. But the effects of the bomb did not stop with the explosion. The radiation it unleashed seeped into the land and into the bodies of those who survived. Children were born with deformities, illnesses spread, and entire families were wiped out. Nagasaki, once a bustling city, had been reduced to a barren wasteland where hope seemed to have died with the people. In the aftermath, those who remained were not only left to mourn their loved ones, but also to reckon with the loss of everything they had ever known. Streets that once echoed with life were now graveyards. Parents were left childless, children were left orphaned. In Nagasaki, survival itself became a daily struggle. Among this destruction, Joe O'Donnell, a photographer sent to document the aftermath of the bomb, captured an image that would come to symbolize the silent suffering of war. A 10-year-old boy standing tall with his younger brother on his back. At first glance, it seems like a common scene of a child carrying his sibling, but this is not a moment of play. This boy had brought his younger brother to the cremation grounds, but the child on his back was not sleeping. He had already passed away. The boy stood there, still and solemn, as if performing one last duty. His face showed no tears, only determination. He stood like a soldier, his posture rigid as he prepared to say goodbye to the one he loved most. Joe O'Donnell described this moment, saying,
"I saw a boy about 10 years old walking by carrying a baby on his back, but this boy was different. There was a seriousness in his face. His feet were bare. The baby's head was tipped back as if he were in a deep sleep. But the baby was already gone." When the boy reached the cremation grounds, white-masked men approached. Gently, they untied the body from his back. They took the baby and placed him on the fire. The boy stood motionless, biting his lip so hard that blood glistened on it. His eyes never left the flames as his brother's body was consumed. The fire burned low like the setting sun. And when it was done, the boy turned and walked away in silence.
This photograph is not just a snapshot of a single moment. It is a symbol of the quiet suffering endured by millions in the aftermath of war. This boy, though just 10 years old, stood like a warrior. He did not cry, for in his heart there was no room left for tears. He carried not just his brother, but the weight of a broken nation, the shattered innocence of a generation that had lost everything. Wars are not just chapters in history books. They are scars on the hearts of those who lived through them. This photograph reminds us of the cost of war, not just in lives lost, but in the innocence stolen. The boy in this photo carries more than his brother. He carries the silent grief of a nation.